Ever since the Big Bang, which occurred roughly 13.8 billion years ago, the universe has been expanding, and new celestial bodies have been coming into existence. Every day, every hour, countless planets are born, and given the time frame 13.8 billion years, you can imagine how many planets will be in existence as of this moment. Shocking, right? Yes, it is. And do you really believe that our Mother Earth is the only planet in the universe to be habitable? Well, if you do, then guess what? Scientists have discovered planets more habitable than Earth. You're watching Into the Unknown, and in today's video, I'll be taking you to the worlds scientists have discovered which can support life. But before we continue, take a moment to subscribe to Into the Unknown and click the bell icon. NASA has been working tirelessly to hunt planets in the universe that can support life. As a result, telescopes were launched with the sole purpose of finding something worthwhile in the universe, such as the Kepler Space Telescope, which was launched by NASA in 2009 to discover Earth-sized planets orbiting other stars that could potentially be habitable. Kepler operated until 2018, and during this time, it collected a wealth of data, which was further refined, and more than 2,600 planets were discovered, and many of them were considered as habitable. Another effort to find new worlds was made through the Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite, which was launched in 2018 by NASA. This space telescope's sole purpose was to search new exoplanets, but this time in an area 400 times larger than what the Kepler mission covered. Whenever astronomers hunt for habitable zones, their search is based on a few things. They search for planets similar in size to our Earth, and those with rocky surfaces. Their search then further focuses on planets which are within the habitable zones of their stars. Additionally, astronomers also search for stars which are similar in size to our Sun and roughly the same age, so that planets and the habitable zones of those stars would have similar conditions to our Earth. These searches have been going on for years, and finally, we do have a list of planets which are habitable and can support life, or perhaps do support life, but are far away for us to detect it. Gliese 667c is a red dwarf star which is part of a triple star system that it forms with two other stars, of which Gliese 667c is the smallest. This red dwarf star has a mass that is roughly 33% that of our Sun, and a radius that is 34% that of our Sun. Located in the constellation Scorpius, the star is 23.6 light-years away from us. And around this star orbits a planet called Gliese 667c, which is termed as a super-Earth, as it is about 3.7 times more massive than the Earth and has a radius that is 1.5 times that of Earth. It orbits its host star at a distance much less than the distance at which the Earth orbits our Sun. But since Gliese 667c is a red dwarf star, the exoplanet still falls into its habitable zone, which is why it's particularly important for us. But since it's much closer to its parent star, Gliese 667cc completes one orbit in about 28 Earth days. Considering that the planet is located within the habitable zone of its star, water can exist there, which is why it is considered as a planet that can support life. However, as the planet was further studied, some discouraging facts were brought to light, such as the fact that the planet is tidally locked to its star, which means that one side of the planet keeps facing towards the star, while the other keeps facing away. Additionally, in 2013, it was revealed that Gliese 667cc was subject to tidal heating 300 times that of Earth. Therefore, over time, the chances of habitability of this planet got lower than what was originally suggested. Next, we have another world, which is strongly considered as a habitable planet, Kepler 62f. Located in the constellation Lyra, at a distance of 1,207 light-years from Earth, Kepler 62f is the outermost of the 5 planets which orbit the star Kepler 62. Kepler 62f is a super-Earth because it has a radius that is 40% greater than Earth and a mass that is not yet exactly known, but estimates suggest that Kepler 62f is probably around 2.6 times the mass of Earth. Kepler 62f is located at a distance of 0.7 astronomical units from its host star, which is why it completes a single orbit in roughly 267 Earth days, making it greatly resemble the characteristics of Earth. Based on its size, this exoplanet is likely rocky or ocean-covered, and that too because it is in the habitable zone of its star. Several studies have been conducted on Kepler-62f, and some have even gone on to suggest that this exoplanet may have seasons and a climate similar to Earth. And because it's the outermost planet from its star, many of the dangerous effects are minimized. According to astronomers, Kepler-62f is a strong candidate to support life, which is why it is being scanned and searched in order to detect any technological signal from the planet. But given the staggering distance in between, conducting a study on the planet or uncovering further details is a challenge. And as of 2016, no signal was received from Kepler-62f. Moving on, the next habitable world I will be taking you to is the exoplanet called TRAPPIST-1e. But before we continue, take a moment to subscribe to Into the Unknown and click the bell icon. At a distance of about 40.7 light-years from Earth in the constellation Aquarius is located the ultra-cool dwarf star TRAPPIST-1. Orbiting this star are 7 planets, out of which 3 planets are in the habitable zone, and TRAPPIST-1e is the first of those 3. This exoplanet has a radius that is 0.9 times that of Earth, and a mass that is 0.6 times that of Earth. Furthermore, its density was found to be 1.024 times that of Earth, which suggests strongly that it has an Earth-like composition with a rocky surface. Although TRAPPIST-1e is tidally locked, which may reduce the chances of habitability, it is still believed that this planet contains liquid water on its surface just like Earth. Additionally, if an atmosphere is found on the planet, it is strongly believed that it will be such as the Earth's atmosphere, which is not hydrogen-dominated, which further raises the chances of habitability of TRAPPIST-1e. Being at a distance of 0.2 astronomical units from its host star, TRAPPIST-1e takes about only 6 Earth days to complete one orbit. However, with all of its characteristics greatly resembling Earth, TRAPPIST-1e is considered as one of the strongest candidates for hosting life. This is the primary reason, which is why TRAPPIST-1e will be part of all major studies in finding new habitable worlds. And since it is one of the most promising potentially habitable exoplanets, it will be further studied by the James Webb Space Telescope, which will gain more information about the planet's atmosphere and whether or not it can support life. These are just some of the exoplanets which have been discovered so far that show promising signs of habitability. There are planets such as TOI 700e, Gliese 581d, Kepler 452b, and a lot more that can support life, but most of them have to be studied further before a final verdict is given. However, from what these planets appear to be, it is highly likely that a great number of these exoplanets will potentially be suitable for life, or some may even host life. We don't know anything yet because we lack concrete evidence. But one thing is for sure, the universe is not home to one habitable planet. It's home to several. And surprisingly, one such habitable world sits about just 4.24 light-years from Earth, which goes by the name Proxima B. It's not only the closest exoplanet, but one that also shows strong signs of habitability. But again, we need to wait for further studies. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Share your thoughts or questions in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Into the Unknown for more amazing content, and ring the bell icon to stay tuned.